What's going on, guys? So today on this Shoky Reviews, we're going to take a look at the okay, it's the Mark III Daishogun. You guys know with these little Legends BB figures that you can never read anything. We do have an epic shot here of the Mark III Gundam, and then of course in his full-on Daishogun mode. And you got the Legends BB logo down here, Bandai logo there, Gundam there. And then you got 2017, made in Japan, and got the full read up right there. I'll leave it on the screen, so if you guys want to actually go ahead and read that. Now we'll come to the bottom here, and you can see promoted to Daishogun by the Crystal Phoenix, Mark III Daishogun. Has 4 sets of eyes, because, yeah. And so you've got the light armor type, you've got the Mark III in armor, front end review. You've got the, we'll read all this in a second, but you've got the Mark III Daishogun all together, and then you have him in his Ryubao, however you want to say that, mode. So that's the Dragon Horse Phoenix form, all the things. And then you have all the different modes. You can put it on a stand, action, weapon, gimmick, yay! Also, the battle mask is detachable. Come on this side, you got number 403 in the line, quite a bit of those. Legends BB, Mark III Daishogun, all the things, Bandai.net. And come over here and you see cool animated stuff. And you can be transformed into light armor type, Mark III in armor, Ryubao form, shown as in a photo. Yay. Then you've got all the things, can be transformed into those 4 forms. I wouldn't say transformed so much as parts formed. But it is what it is. You get real chrome stuff. Yay! Abundant gimmicks and parts. This is true. And you guys 0 to 3-year-olds will be happy. Little guy with toilet. And don't actually stick a Daishogun in your 3-year-old's face. It will hurt them. Oh yeah, choking hazard, by the way. And 1,800 yen. Nice, affordable kit considering how much comes in it. Even though he be worthy, he's still upside down. Alright, let's get to that build montage. Yay, build montage. Alright guys, so here we have the Mark III out here and in his little bitty basic form. And just like most of these SDs, you can basically spend all your time dressing him up. So just in this form, he's got his basic light armor mode, so he's got his helmet that is pretty much the same as anybody's helmet. And he's got his main body that's got the 2 holes there, 1 hole there. He's got back skirt, hips, all that stuff. It's all pretty much the same, just molded ever so slightly different per each Gundam. He's got his shoulders here, got the little nodules here, all kinds of little things. Now, if you guys were paying attention in the build montage, you actually see me masking off everything and then peeling it, because I did paint all of the goldish parts like this with spray paint. And of course I used Tamiya Gold for that. Now, just real quick, we'll go over articulation, because these guys do have some articulation, but the more stuff that's on him, the less articulate he's going to be. So let's go ahead and get it out of the way now. He's got a double ball joint neck, so he can turkey neck, very nice. He can also rotate all the way around. You can even do some quizzical Gundam maneuvering. He's got this inset ball or polycap in there. Those should actually butterfly out a little bit, but that one is kind of stuck. Here we go. So you can actually butterfly the shoulders. Can rotate all the way around, but that tends to happen right there. You do get ball joint for shoulder, so you can get some movement there. You can get a little bitty high teacher. You get rotation at the bicep, just barely a single elbow. Not a lot going on there. And you also get ball joint for the hand. You guys can see I got the gold all up in there. Didn't want that to be broken up at all. You do have a ball joint between the hips and waist. You get a little bit of maneuvering there. If you want to pull them up, you can get some ab crunch. Of course, rotation. Legs, ball jointed as always. Same thing with the feet. Super limited on the legs because they're just meant to hold them up. Not a whole lot of posing options for that. Now, of course, some options you do get right off the bat is choice of eyes. With me, I tend to go with either left, probably almost always left looking eyes, but this little guy can switch them. So if you come in here and pull off the top of his head, easier said than done usually. Now I noticed that a few of these are different as I built them, but this one's not too bad. So if you go ahead and yank the eyes off, which I went ahead and painted those because they were on the runner, but if you switch them around, we can check out these more kind of soulful looking eyes. I'll leave those on for the rest of the review. Another thing is, and I guess this is more of an option, these blue streaks on the face. You don't have to go with those. Those are stickers, but they were a pain in the butt to get lined up properly. And this one's actually pretty jacked up, but it looks good as it is. So they're kind of like tears. Yay for that. Now, this thing is going to be layers upon layers at some point. So let's just go ahead and get to it. We'll start off first with his regular Mark III armor. So we want to come in here with his black chest armor. Now you get 3 red stickers here for the vents, and then right in there for the bottom. And then I hand painted the gold right there on those little finial parts. And you just plug the chest right in. Now a lot of this is going to be very similar as we go. But going just into his Mark III armor mode, it's pretty simple. You grab the nice spiky shoulder pieces with the really nice gold paint. And you want to slide those down over those shoulder pegs. And do your best to get them to clip on. Sometimes they just flat out won't. I'm not going to lie to you guys. And then sometimes they just won't come off. It's just kind of almost a C-clip kind of connection. But there, those actually went on pretty nicely. He's looking a lot beefier. Now where is his front crotch skirt, which has a red sticker and gold paint? You can see missed the mask a little bit. I can't hold everything up at the same time, but I think it looks okay. I was going to paint that, but then I realized it did not have a good red paint. And Gundam marker bleeds way too easy. So I'm okay with using stickers on these guys. Now I find it weird, this little crotch piece tends to be harder to get on. Oh, there it goes. Okay. You got to kind of approach it at the right angle or else it just won't go. You also get a big old butt skirt. It goes back here. Nice and neat. Very squared off. You also get these little shoulder extensions. Though these probably could have gone on first. But you can get them on now if you try hard enough. If you try hard enough. Okay, perhaps you can't get them on after the fact. But you can pull the arms off, by all means. This is the hard part, getting these things back off. And considering the sheer amount of part swapping we have to do for this, it's kind of annoying. Not gonna lie. So go ahead and reassemble everybody now. Since I kind of forgot about that up until now. Go ahead and put that back in there. And poof, the other shoulder is done. Now you also want to get the backpack, which is very Mark III appropriate. It's got the big thrusters right through there. And oddly enough, none of the instructions show paint on this at all. They just show it straight up black. Now I could probably go in here and do a little bit of chrome on those thrusters, but I'm not too worried about it. He's probably not even going to be displayed with this. But you plug it into that central hole on his backpack. So he's already starting to look really nice and armored up. We can even come in here and give him this awesome spear. That looks friggin' awesome. And the spear is actually called Sansa no Yari. So, yay for that. It's from Game of Thrones. It's Sansa. And now, of course, the piece de resistance, the helmet. Now, the helmets have a tab right up in there and line up on the top of the head, like so. And just shove it on, and it should be good. And boom! There's our Mark III in his full armor mode. That's pretty awesome. And guys, I actually really dig the way the gold came out. I think it looks pretty good. And I even had to mask off and paint all around the helmet there. I like the fact this red piece is one big red piece and not a sticker. You do get a green sticker there for the front of the head, but for the most part, boom. There he is in all his cool little glory. Get a picture. Alright guys, so now we gotta get him into his Daishogun mode. That's not easy, because basically you have to completely strip him down. And now he's just going to magically grow all his new armor. Okay, it's not magical. So first and foremost, we're going to start down at his little feetsies. Gonna slide on his new suede shoes. Okay, they're not suede, but you know, they're little red shoesies. Make sure you line up those little guards with the slots. It should go in okay. And then you want to take these cool little spikies and plug them in right there with using those big tabs on the inside. And if you put them on the wrong way, it won't work. So basically you want to have that spike on the top side. Come on. There we go. Alright, moving up, let's do his front crotch plate, like so. Also, go ahead and do his back plate, his butt plate, as it were. Put your arms up. Magically, the sword appears. I'm just imagining that's kind of how it would happen. And for the most part, go ahead and raise his arms up because we're going to need space to work here. Got his chest piece. That also magically just comes on. I'm a dork, I know. And then the giant new shoulder pieces coming in. And clip on the same way the previous ones did. Which this one always gives me a little bit more trouble. So I've got to provoke it a little bit more. Blah. Then the backpack flies in and lines up and plugs right up onto his back, like so, causing him to have the inability to stand. And last but not least, his awesome helmet comes in and drops down, giving him the powers of the Phoenix. Lightning. Just imagine all those things. And here he is, of course, in Daishogun mode. And it is ridiculous. Ridiculous. We've got some amazing gold chrome up here on the helmet. Got a nice little clear jewel right there. And catch the light just right. We've got some more gold pieces that have been painted by me. And then also along here. And then some masking done right along there, which isn't perfect, but guess what? It's what I could do. The sword is also painted, along with the hilt down here. It looks awesome. This is sticker work on there, because I wasn't about to try to mask and paint that off, and I actually think it looks okay. You got the nice blade coming out the shoulder here, which will come into play here in a second. You do got this nice little kind of peacock thing happening. I like that. I guess it's supposed to be the tail of the phoenix, because basically he is a phoenix at this point. Also, on the helmet, you get painted chrome bits here that are starting to rub off. For some reason, a chrome marker doesn't seem to stick around too long. This part was actually hand-painted with gold Gundam marker instead of using the stickers that came with it. Same thing with this over here. Masked and spray-painted gold. The ears also spray-painted gold. A lot of work, guys. I mean, I spent hours masking. I really do dig the gem right here that you just put in place. The scroll work right here was all done with Gundam marker, and then the chest was spray painted gold. I do actually really appreciate the fact that they molded this as a whole separate piece and then you put it together. That was so much better than trying to make that all a sticker or something like that, which, of course, we've seen them do in the past. Now, if we come to the backpack, which is ridiculous, you get two giant cannons, very reminiscent of the previous Daishogun. And I believe they called these, the one on the left is the Omega Buster. Actually, just in general, they're called the Omega Busters. Sorry. And spray painted and masked off tons of gold work here. That took an enormous amount of time. And then you got these little claws back here that are awesome. Now, before we get too far into that, let's see if I can draw his sword. And, yeah, went ahead and chromed up the blade, and you can see it's definitely been rubbing inside the sheath. Which sucks, but it is what it is. Should have used a regular red marker on the jewel there. I used a metallic red. It's okay. And he can hold the sword fairly well. Of course, probably going to scrape off some paint. Just like that. Looks awesome. Let's see if I can get him in a quick little pose. That's awesome. Let's get a picture of that. Awesomeness. I'm saying awesome a lot because that's really what this thing is. It is very, very awesome. You gotta have the huge wings, the big old guns, and then the mini phoenix heads, which apparently all have a name. So over here, you got Taiho, which is a phoenix of strength. You have the Phoenix goggles, which are these bits right here, which is kind of silly because they're not really goggles. Up top, you've got Shinho, which is Phoenix of Spirit, and you've got Giho over here, which is the Phoenix of Technique. So all the phoenixes all over the place. And he does have more stuff in this mode. You get these cool little, like, sickles. Twin sickles. Yay for that. Those were masked off and spray painted with silver. You know, just do what it could. And these do combine. Like so. So you have a nice twin-headed thingy that he can also hold if he's not falling over like he always is. Now, the hard part with this is it's a very long weapon, so you gotta plan exactly how you're gonna do that. Because with this enormous backpack on him now, you gotta make room. So, where's his shoulder? Like so. So he's hitting the wings back there with the other end of the thing. I'm gonna go ahead and rotate that so it's on the pretty side. Now, one thing you can also do, you can totally take his little phoenixes and plug them on to the ends. Don't ask me why. It's just a cool aesthetic thing. Hey, when you're like the god of phoenix stuff, do what you want. So let's just pull all these things here. When the Crystal Phoenix gives you powers to become the Mark III Daishogun, you just do what you want at that point. Yeah, no, it's kind of ridiculous. But this whole series is ridiculous, and it's kind of the point. But that's a neat look. I like the green metallic stickers. You could always try to paint that, but I like the clean look of the stickers. It is what it is. Now, you do have the blade over here on the shoulder, which you can totally make use of. Where's my focus? You can totally take that off. You can go ahead and pull the fork off of this guy. And push this through here. And now you've got the regular single glaive. Oh, by the way, I did paint the end of it with some gold paint just to make it look pretty. So he can have extra weapons just kind of hanging out. So yay for that. And if you want, you can totally put his battle mask on at this point. Which I think technically you have to put on before you put the helmet on. So I'm going to skip it for right now because he's still got one more mode. However, before we get to the final ridiculous mode, let's go ahead and bring in the previous Daishogun. And so now we've got the Nidaime Daishogun. All the shiny chrome and big guns. So like I said, you can see the similarities of the giant Mega Busters on the back. Although these have a lot more detail in reality, but, you know. It is what it is. Big chromy dudes with lots of armor and similar kind of backstory. But of course, this guy is from a different mode. Or a different timeline, I think. I don't know how these different timelines work. McAvoy or Stewart? It's always confusing. Now, the only thing that happens with this guy that this guy doesn't do, or I got that backwards, none of the stuff combines to make like an animal sidekick armor. Like this makes a big phoenix out of the Mega Busters and all that. Pretty much all the other ones do make animal kind of sidekick mechanical things. This one, as far as I can tell by any parts of the instructions, does not. And that kind of sucks considering the sheer amount of stuff here. And I like the fact that you get like the little phoenix heads on the shoulders. But because he does have one more final mode, we need to go ahead and prep him for that. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pull his helmet off because I've got to pull the battle mask off. I'll just take the whole head off. It's easier. Set it aside. You want to go ahead and pull the entire backpack off. Pull off the butt skirt. Come on. Come on, butt skirt. Those can be tricky. I'm going to come down here. Go ahead and pull off the feet. Like you just want the foot to come off. And go ahead and pull off the gold part, the ankle armor. So basically this is what you want to end up with. Just a torso with not a lot going on. And so we've got that set to the back. Because now we need to come to the backpack. We're going to go ahead and pull these things off. I hate when that happens. Because I need that back. Okay, there we go. So there's another piece inside here. And go ahead and separate that. And I believe we want to take this and put it here. Could be wrong. Must consult instructions. Okay, I was wrong. Ignore that. Pull that back off. Almost forgot. So we come back here to the Mega Buster. You want to pull this whole back section off, being real careful, because it's just tabbed on right there. Alright, we set the cannons up here by his torso. This is going to get messy, guys. Okay, so you want to take this bit, and the ball joints are still stuck in here, so that's just what I'm going to go with. And with that big tab now facing down, you assemble it like this. Okay. I'm going to come back here, just push on this a little bit, and it will reveal some legs. Yay for legs. Now we pull out our awesome dragon feet that we have not seen until now. They've been hidden off to the side. Go ahead and attach these like so. Should stand on its own okay. Then you want to take the butt skirt, plug it in right there. So actually you need to drop these down just a little bit so the butt skirt can plug in. Like so. Looks like its own little pair of walking legs. That's kind of funny. Now we take the little front legs that we're also hiding off to the front. Take these armors. Just like we did before, you've got a big slot right there. Insert those. Anybody who's done one of the Night Gundams will recognize this transformation realistically. So you've got big ball sockets there. Go ahead and install those up here. Just like we would do for any of the other like Centaur modes for previous SD Gundams. Now he can stand on his own for the most part. Alright, we need to go back to the head. Go ahead and pull the helmet off this time. Take the battle mask. You got a couple little slots on either side of the face. I'll just plug the battle mask in. Like so. And I like the continuation of the kind of effect going on there. And by the way, this is a big sticker, if you couldn't tell by how ugly it is. But I did what I could, because once again, wasn't going to try to hit it with any red paint. Now, the other thing you need to do is pull off this front bit with the Phoenix. And you've got two slots. You want to put it in the lower slot. So these will be the goggles, so to speak. Go ahead and jam the head back on, since we're here. Now we want to come to the back. Take this part. I guess I didn't have to unplug the cannons, but I did. Take the cannons, plug those back in. Yeah, those didn't actually have to come off. I'm just silly like that. But you want the claws here to be facing backwards instead of downwards like they were before. So now you've got this big tab facing forward. And plug this into the backpack now, like so. Take your back legs and plug them into the butt skirt. Just like I said before, just like any other Centaur mode on any of the Night Gundams. You know, plug it in snugly and then fix your legs. And there we have the Mark III Daishogun in his Ryubao mode, or his Dragon Horse Phoenix form. And this thing is ridiculous, guys. I know I've been saying that over and over, but it is. This is ridiculous. Like, it's over the top. Just crazy. Like, how many more bits of gold? How many more wings or claws or things can we jam on this guy before he's just something totally new? And I guess they answered the question because it was that many. Now, I do have a problem with the butt hanging on, so to speak, like that. And you can't see his eyes. The goggles come down so far, his eyes really get blocked out. He looks very much like a bird, actually, in my opinion. Now you can bring in, like, the single glaive spear. Try to thread it through the hand as best you can. So that's pretty neat. Like so. And if you're feeling randy, you can bring back the phoenixicles, as it were. Just give him all of the weapons for swinging and running and flying and shooting. Come on, get in there. There we go. This guy is totally off the charts. And for the amount of money that you pay for it, you certainly get quite a lot. I mean, look at that. That's insane. You get a little dragon-butted phoenix horse. Something like that. So you got dragon claws, you've got horse legs, you've got phoenix wings. It's really crazy. Of course, you can't really use the cannons for anything. They don't really reposition at all. So they're just there for threatening people. I'm just kidding. You can totally move the wings, by the way. And there are ball joints here and there. So, I mean, if you really want to, you can totally start playing around with this guy. Start mounting the wings directly on the backpack if you want. So actually just eliminate the cannons altogether. I mean, it does actually have some customization involved if you really want to go there. And if you have enough of these guys, you can totally start mix and matching parts. I'm not really going to do that right now because that would get a little too crazy for this review. And this review has gone on long enough. Now, like I said before, it kind of saddens me that you end up with all of these extra parts. Like just all this stuff that there's nothing you can do with. Like this would be cool if you could totally make a tiny little horse out of the extra parts. You know, something. But there's no way as far as I can tell. Any way to just pile on the parts and just make it into something? Probably not. But hey, it is what it is, guys. Oh, man. But if you like this guy, I definitely suggest it. It is a fun kit, but if you are scared of painting, by all means, it gives you tons of stickers. So, do what you gotta do. The Phoenix is looking at you. It's looking at you. Yep. But I'll catch you guys on the next review. And, of course, if you're new here, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like what I'm doing. And, of course, I want to thank my patrons, as always, John, Andy, Steve. You are great. And, actually, we have a Patreon pick coming up on Monday, for Master Grade Monday, from Mr. Andy Tubbs. It will be a good one, I think. We'll see. But, until then, guys, that's it for the Mark III Daishogun. Remember, as always, keep on building.